you doing, Taylor?
Good, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
It feels so great in here in your studio.
That's great. That's wonderful. It's awesome. Is it just you? You
Yeah,
said it's at our studio. Okay, so
yeah.
you guys
I'm in other projects. Taylor Void is my solo project.
gotcha. What's your other project?
My main project is called Final Body. Uh,
Wonderful.
we're like a kind of post-punk with like goth influence.
Awesome.
And we have a record out called Nothing. We've been at it for a while. We're on Young and Cold Records.
I'll have to get with you with that about that later. We'll
Oh,
talk
sure,
about
sure.
that. Yeah, yeah, because I promote goth rock, and all that. So post punk and all that.
Yeah,
So wonderful.
cool.
That's awesome. Well, wonderful. Thank you for having being here. And so, where are you from?
I'm originally from Southern California. Grew up in East LA, Compton, Downey area. When I got older, moved down to Orange County, and then graduated high school down there, and then moved up to Seattle, where I am currently at now. I went down to during COVID. I went back to California for about 2 years, and we just moved back here in May.
Okay. So yeah, actually I got shot at in Compton before.
Yeah,
That was
me
pretty
too.
fun. That was awesome. Yeah. Hey, it's a white boy. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh shit! Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta be careful, man.
Yeah. I was watching Rage Against the Machine. It
Oh
was
yeah.
the Evil Empire, like one of the first concerts for it. There's a
Oh
bike
man,
arena there,
that was
and
probably nuts.
yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah. So tell
Oh,
me
that sounds
about
like a good
your.
time.
Yeah, it was actually it was pretty insane. It was pretty great. Actually, had a wonderful time. It was a
Yeah,
big mosh pit, and it was like 3 hours long of this nothing but rage. It was
sweet.
pretty neat. And I'm not like a ultra big fan. It was just still though, like kind of like this is
It's the
really cool.
time seeing it
Yeah, it was
live.
away
It's
from the
cool.
home. And yeah, it was cool. It was good. So tell me about your early life. Did you grow up with a musically inclined family, or did you
Well,
just
when
learn all this by yourself?
I kind of picked it up on myself, I've been surrounded by music and supported. But when I grew up, my dad was a bodybuilder and a race car driver,
Oh, wonderful. That's
and
awesome.
my mom was a flight attendant. So she was gone
Okay.
a lot. And so I was raised
Yeah.
a lot by friends, neighbors, TV, and
And we all know TV's a good influence. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and so yeah, totally, why not? And so
Yeah.
yeah, so I grew up. My dad always had like a 12-string acoustic guitar,
Oh, I love them.
and so he would play around on that a little bit, but it was always too hard for me to play because my fingers were too little, and I always wanted to play music until about seventh grade. I begged and begged, and I got a Squire P bass
Oh.
for my birthday, a bright red one.
Oh.
And then I'm pretty sure I started learning like Blink 182 songs at that point,
Yeah.
and like White Stripe stuff or whatever, just the simplest stuff I could
Yeah.
learn. And then I never really played in bands until high school. Who actually my other project, Final Body, most of us are we were in our band in high school together. We've just
Oh,
changed a million times throughout the years.
wonderful. That's good. That's
Um,
good.
yeah,
Got
so I
to
play.
because you guys got a good connection, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it's like, when
Wonderful.
when
Can
you
read
meet your
each other.
musical family. Yeah. And they like they're way more talented than I am. They're all like multi instrumentalists. They know what chords are and shit. I'm
Yeah.
definitely like, oh, this feels really good, so let's just kind
Actually,
of
I
go
know
into
what
that.
chords are too and shit.
Yeah, nice.
I like
So
chords.
yeah, so we played a little bit in high school, and then I didn't really play much until I moved up to Seattle. And then they were all like in like a they were in a band that was very active. And then they kind of broke up, and I had like a song or two I had an idea for, but was really out of practice writing. And this is probably 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
Um, but they all helped me kind of put a song together, and we started a little goth project called Blood Pleasures. We put out
Nice.
like a little 4-song EP. It's kind of fun. It
That's a cool name.
it yeah, it was I've been lucky enough to get to name all of my bands, and I always feel like I have
Yeah.
cool names for stuff.
You
And so
spoiled rotten, you yeah.
so we did that. A buddy of mine had his first kid, so he was like, I'm out for a little bit. We're like, great, hang out in the rafters, we're going to start a new project. We brought in our other friend to play drums. We did that, and then when I moved to California, he ended up taking my spot in Final Body for like a year and a half or 2 years.
Holy
um,
pickles. Yeah.
so he was just supporting, playing shows and stuff.
Oh,
And then in that time I was because I write for that band. I write a lot of the music and lyrics for Final Body, and
yeah.
that's just in me now. So I just write and write and write.
Wonderful.
So
That's good.
I wrote
I love to
I don't
write
know.
lyrics. Like love to write music. It's
Yeah,
been a
so I
little
wrote
while
like
where I'm at, but yeah, I love to. Love to write.
it's like for me, it's like I feel like it was calloused for a long time, and then just through life and uh trauma or whatever,
Yeah.
just trying to deal like trying to process emotions and turn it into something positive, like art or like music or painting or something like that. I had to
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
work on uh breaking the calluses off that, and then it just started flowing out. Not all of it was good. But
Yeah,
I
of
probably
course.
had 30 or 40 songs ready to go. Some of those go to Final Body, and then the ones that end up being a little too hard to pull off live, like too much drum machines or like 3 synths or something,
Yeah.
I just kind of was filing that under the Taylor Void stuff. And then I was like, I'm going to just start releasing this stuff. So I put out that
Yeah.
record, um, which was kind of a collection of songs that I recorded all over the place in the last like year and a half.
Hmm.
And then yeah, and then
So
I've filmed. Yeah,
tell me about this project then, since you're already talking about it.
sure.
What do you want to get across about it? What's your point with this project?
Um,
What's your meaning behind it? What are you trying to get across? Um,
sure.
what's your vibe? What's your feel with it?
Yeah, so with this project, I'm allowed to, I mean, it's just me. So, whatever I bring to other people, if I'm writing for something else, it gets changed. These
Yeah.
are the songs that I don't want to change, that I feel very strongly about.
Yeah.
Um, Generally because they're a lot more personal to me. It's about a friend of mine that I've lost, or a family member, or a
Gotcha.
personal struggle I'm going through. Um, that I just want to take ownership of it, and I
Yeah.
want it to be my song.
I
Um,
totally relate. I understand.
and
Because
so
I don't think I'm a very good singer. I
Yeah,
know.
me
I don't
neither.
feel. It's like acquired taste. I know what that
Yeah,
means. I know what that means now. But
yeah,
but I can't see some other people singing some of my lyrics because one of
yeah.
my songs is about a buddy that committed suicide, and
Hmm.
his dad raped him and
Oh my
stuff. So
God.
it was like horrible, horrible life, and stuff. So
Yeah.
got to meet him. He wrote a song for me, and then he killed himself. So
Oh, I'm so sorry, man.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So
Yeah. So
so
yeah,
I do understand what you're saying. Sometimes it's just best for you to just do it yourself.
yeah.
You can let it out, all that emotion and all those feelings, and
And some of those
fuck what
songs, like
everybody else thinks about it.
for sure. Like I have one song particular on the record is titled "World Breaker."
Okay.
And that song, there's some heavier stuff on there, but that song that I recorded it the night that I had to put my cat down.
Oh,
And I don't know about you, I'm a big animal lover. I had
we
a
got five
cat.
cats.
So I had a 22-pound Maine Coon named Jarvis,
Ah,
and
awesome.
I loved him. He was just the best cat ever, but he had like a pretty hard last year.
Mm.
And then I put him down. We had to take him in and put him down that day. And then I was just kind of I have two
So
kids.
sorry. Yeah, that's
Uh,
horrible.
well, I have 2 kids, so I was having a really hard time, and I was kind of asking my wife like, "Hey, can you just kind of hang out with them? I just want to kind of get through this, like really, like I'm usually not super emotional when stuff like that happens,
Huh.
but this one, it just hit me." And so I went in the garage, and I just recorded that song basically in one go. And
Huh.
if you listen to it, I'm crying through the end, but I was like, "Fuck it, I'll keep it," because
Yeah.
that's how I was in the moment. And
Yeah.
so
It's
there's
real.
stuff like that all over that record. That's not perfect. Stuff's blown out. I'm like sniffling in some of the songs, but it's like
Yeah.
because I'm doing my best to get out something, because I'm like, now I'm singing the song instead of giving it
Yeah.
to
You're
someone else.
finally releasing it.
Yeah.
And there's other people that are wanting to hear the same thing. That relate with you with your turmoil and tragedies, and and the good things.
And that
So,
I
and
figured, I was like, I
that's
got nothing to
what
lose by
our
putting
job
this out.
is, to put it down in into music. So
And I appreciate
good
you
for you.
finding it and giving it an ear.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. We're not done by far. You know, I feel we could do some like little promos for, songs, albums you kind of have coming out, EPs or whatever. You want to do a
Yeah, it'd
little
be great.
promo for it? We'll get together, like do like a 5 minute promo, so we can paste it on Facebook and
That'd
Instagram
be
and
awesome.
let people watch them and get an idea of your, like little mini interview for that, for your EP or
For sure.
whatever.
I'd be free to trade you too. I'm a freelance artist. So if you ever want illustrations for anything, let me know. I got
Yeah,
you.
wonderful. Yeah, I love the design too. Like look behind me.
Dude, that's sick. Oh, the
Yeah, so
skeletons. I see.
yeah.
I see. How did you get the name Da Roosta?
Okay, now I'm being interviewed. Okay, well, actually, I used to work with a guy named Jay Stone for rockmetaltalk.com, and
Okay,
I used to do gothic and industrial mixes for him, and because he
cool.
didn't really have anybody that did that type of stuff, so I
Mhm.
DJ'd for him, and he pretty much got rid of everybody, and except for himself, he got rid of
Mm.
all the DJs. It was like seven of us. He got rid of
You-
everybody, and now he's just Jay Stone show, and just does his own
mm.
thing. And
Thinks he has better
so,
taste than everyone, huh?
yeah, no, they're there. I like ghosts. And so he got, anyways, he's we kind of had a falling out, but that's all right. I hope the best for him still, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah. So me and him came up with the Rooster kind of pretty much. And then it was a collaboration with me and my wife also with that and my logo, my little model thing, more rock, less cock.
Cool. All
Yeah,
right.
on the Rooster show. So
I
yeah,
love
it
it.
was wonderful. So yeah, it's cool. Thank you. So what? So you okay? Let me get back. Okay, now back on track. Back on
Sorry, I
track.
feel like I'm like derailing this shit all the time.
No, that's all right. That's all right. That's all good. It's supposed to just be a nice conversation, nice and relaxed. So that's what we're doing. So would you kind of grow up liking? What kind of styles of music and what's an influence for Tyler Void? Uh,
Um,
let's go with that one.
so so the influences for Taylor Void, I would say, are probably more. I obviously like love Joy Division, love Bauhaus, love The Cure, love all that stuff. But I really like the more kind of modern stuff that's come out in the last 10 years.
Hmm.
That's resonated with me more. So the stuff that really influences Taylor Void is like, I mean, Lebanon Hanover is a big one because it's minimal, it's simple,
Yep.
and they can just say anything and it sounds so cool, even like with like a
Yeah,
translation.
they're
You're like,
damn good.
fuck yeah. And so I take kind of the linear simplicity from stuff like that, which I really like. But then I also love bands like Second Still that are like
You too.
super, they're just like
Yeah.
dynamic. Their time signatures are so sick.
Have you
Their
heard of
bass player,
non-human?
yeah,
Non-human. Yeah, they're
yeah,
good
dude,
too.
it's
Yeah.
great. And so I love
Cool.
that.
Dead
Uh,
cool. I like them too. They're pretty damn good.
Recently, Blind Seagull has been really cool. I even geeked out and reached out to them, and I was
Okay, I
like,
never
"Hey,
heard of them actually.
they got some really cool
What was
stuff."
that name again? Blind Seagull.
Blind Seagull, yeah.
Okay, we'll talk
They're
later
great,
about it. All right.
yeah. And then uh, let me think. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now, but I mean, I love Iron Curtain is another one I love. I love the Oppenheimer analysis. Um, I mean, it goes all over the place, but for Taylor Void stuff, it's a lot. Bring My Remains to Broadway. That's a great band. That's been a big influence. I love his delivery.
Hmm.
So I kind of like minimal bass and drums with kind of a catchy synth.
Okay,
Um, and
gotcha.
then each song kind of changes. Sometimes I feel like really doing the low goth voice, and sometimes I'm like harmonizing with myself. And I just kind of have fun with each one and see like kind of what the song wants, you
Yeah,
know.
I hear you.
Um,
I do.
so like I have two singles that will be coming out after this, and they're just totally different.
And when's that going to be probably coming out?
I'm filming an actual real music video on Sunday for the
Ooh,
one. That song is called The Veil. And that is like a dark club, like it goes hard.
awesome,
It's like a
wonderful.
groovy hard club beat.
Heck yeah.
The production I learned a little bit more, so I've recorded that one sounds a little bit better. And then the one after that is almost kind of like an indie rock song with like a dark vibe, but I'm gonna let that one
Okay.
cook for a minute.
Ah,
Maybe I'll send it to you after.
okay. Yeah, don't be a tease, man. I won't display it to the world to you say I can, but yeah. I actually do
Yes.
need a track for this interview for the beginning of it, so
Oh, cool.
we can do like a little teaser baby of it,
Oh, that'd be funny.
like
Yeah,
only
no, I
like
mean,
30 seconds long,
for sure, for
Anyway,
sure.
so yeah. So, who have you done much concerts? Have you done any concerts
Play
for
shows?
Tyler Boyd
Yeah.
yet? For
Oh,
Tyler
no, no,
Boyd?
no. Oh, no, not for Taylor Boyd. I mean, I just released that record like a month ago.
Okay.
And I was honestly expecting no one to care. Like I just put it out with no promotion or anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, some people have reached out. You found me, like you were really cool, and like said what's up, and I totally appreciate that. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I got a little following. I've been reaching out to kind of other like-minded people, be like, hey, you might like this or whatever. So I wasn't like really planning on ever playing shows. I thought this would just be a recording project that I put out, maybe make like a tape of it or something.
Yeah.
But since I've put it out, I live in Seattle. The neighborhood I live in is called West Seattle. There's a bunch
Okay.
of local musicians here, tons of great bands in my neighborhood. And they've all been like, dude, you got to just play something local, just do something. And so I think
Yeah.
in the next couple weeks or couple months, I'm going to get a little show together. I have a lot of anxiety when it
Yeah.
comes to like being on stage, even though like with
Oh.
Final Body, we've played some great shows and I'm playing bass. I don't even need to sing. But like I
Yeah.
just get so nervous and like I don't even really like being out in public with a bunch of people.
So
Like,
your favorite part about this whole process is probably the creating of the
yeah,
music.
definitely.
Okay.
I'm a
See, I
homebody
like I like
creator.
finally getting it done so I can play live. I like playing live. Yeah.
The thing is with playing bass live, I really get nervous because I know that like sometimes my hands cramp up. It's a lot of downstroking,
I
like
got you.
16th notes for an hour
Yeah.
straight or whatever. So like sometimes like I get cramped up, I get a little nervous, just because like I'm a decent player, but I'm not like a seasoned pro. Like I'm not gonna
Hell
be
no.
like, oh, I'll beat this bass player's ass with my fucking
No
slap
way,
riffs
dude.
or whatever.
There's
Like,
there's some out there that I can't. I just go, wow. You know.
yeah, I'm
I
just
mean,
here to
just
I'm here to contribute to the chaos. You know what I mean?
you know what? How I learned how to play bass was bass is basic.
Yeah,
They could be doing A minor and all that. We'll do an A.
yeah,
It's just fine.
yeah. Just
Keep it
hang in
simple.
there.
Just keep it simple. Keep that rhythm with the drummer. You guys are
Mm,
like best friends.
Yeah, that rhythm section. That's the body feel.
Feel each other. Start learning to just focus on the drummer. Don't focus on
Yeah.
the crowd. Look past them.
So I do. The first couple shows I'd like throw up before and like get all nervous, have to drink like 6 beers to play a
Yeah.
15-minute set, and then when we started playing more and more shows and it got a little bit bigger, playing with more like-minded bands. Also, like when you first start out with a band, you're not really put into shows with bands that are like you. So it'd be like,
Yeah.
like we're like a post-punk
It's
goth
very
rock band,
random.
and then it's like a hardcore band and an art rock band,
And then a
and
hip hop
like,
dude.
yeah, and so it's
I
like it's
got
kind of
yeah.
random like that.
It's
But
pretty random.
as far as
But
performing as Taylor Void, I'd feel a lot more confident because I know all the tracks. I wrote them all, and it would
yeah.
basically just be me singing to my tracks or maybe playing bass to it. And so I think that would be a different kind of way more of a low key setup, and I would
It
just have more
actually
fun
is
singing.
it is nice like that, to be honest with you, because I
So
have like set songs that have the drum, bass, and synth in it. I go up,
yeah,
play guitar, and do vocals,
I
and
just I
do it
just
great.
last
One guy
yeah
said that my show sounded better than the live band.
yeah
It's like, yeah, that's what's up. And he gave me a hundred
yeah, I
bucks
hope
to
so.
do 45 minutes.
That's
So it's
great.
like, cool, dude. Thank you.
Yeah,
That was
last
awesome.
year, have you heard of Riki?
Ricky?
Yeah, she's
No.
like she does kind of like new wave stuff, but definitely in the goth vibe. Really cool, like really catchy songs. Like they almost sound like they could be like the theme from like the Lost Boys or something, but just never made it, you know?
Any way you can send me a link to,
Yeah, sure.
Facebook or whatever.
I'll send you a bunch of stuff after this. I'll just get your number
Yeah.
after this. Um, and so I went and saw her, and I was like, what is her setup going to be? And it was like a SPDS pad with all of her songs set up. And then
Uh-huh.
she played a flute too, which was pretty sick.
Oh
But
yeah.
she was just kind of push and play and
Yeah.
stop. And I just had so much respect for it because I was like, that takes a lot of balls to go out there and do that. But then also that's genius because it's way easier.
Yeah. I've had so many people go like, how the hell do you remember? Like, I mean, it's just like the timing, it after doing it so long,
Yeah, it's like a part of
like
you.
there's like a certain sound in there, where it's doing the change,
Yeah.
it's like I didn't record it that well. I didn't get that little bit of
Yeah.
fuzz right there, right when the drums are gonna start. That's where I start, And
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
funny.
there's
I have flaws throughout all mine, for my show, and I'm like probably 30 of them. I played for 3 hours straight one time for an open mic that no one else showed up for.
oh
I
my
played for
gosh.
3 hours, and I only did one
That you're
song.
true to the scene,
No,
man.
two songs that were twice. Two songs that were twice, and they were my two opening songs. And I redid those two songs. I'm like, I'm out of here. So
Yeah.
retarded.
Oh man.
But,
That's funny. So
it's
where are you? Where are you at? Where do you live? We
Clear
got a
Falls,
tangent.
Idaho.
Oh, sick. Okay, so we're not even that far from each other.
No, we're not. No, we're
All
not.
right.
Yeah, very cool.
Well,
So
maybe
hopefully, if I
you got
can
to get
get
out here
my
to
stuff,
Seattle.
yeah, get my project going too, and try to do some shows. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So you do make
So,
music, and
oh yeah, I do. I'll send you a couple tracks when we get done here.
I would love that.
Yeah, yeah, I love it, man. I play bass, guitar, keyboard, and I do live. I can do real drums, but it's like been a long time. I'm so
Yeah.
really rusty, But I only did it just because my buddy, my best friend in the whole world, freaking played drums, and that was like the time to learn on the top of drum set, real nice.
Yeah.
So I'd rock
Yeah.
out
If you
to
could.
like Van Halen, basic
Yeah.
stuff. It was good, and I did it for a church group one time. They're like,
Uh-huh.
our drummer's sick. Anybody want to play drums? I'm like, I'll do
Yeah. Oh,
it.
actually, you know what? I've played drums for a church too before. Like last minute. That's so funny.
Yeah, it was last second. Yeah, same church I met my wife at. So
All
that was
right.
cool. Yep, she came to
Well,
the
oh,
show.
I was that's kind of funny. I had one of my big themes on my record is leaving the church and
Yeah,
leaving my Christianity. I have a song called RT on there called Religious Trauma.
yeah.
Um, I was raised in kind of an agnostic household.
Okay.
And then because my dad was raised in a very Catholic household, and my mom, it was like kind of like evangelical Christian, and but just
Mm.
kind of like weird. And so they never really pushed anything on me. And when I got like in high school, I was like very curious about spirituality.
Of course.
Um, and so
Very curious. Yeah, definitely.
I met a friend, and he was like, "Hey, there's a skate park at this place. You want to go?" And I was like, "Sure, heck yeah." He's like, "It's also my church." And I was like, "What? You trapped me." And so
What?
I ended up going to the skate
Entrapment.
park. And so I started going to the skate park all the time. And then I started like going to this
Uh,
church. And I was like, "Oh man, this is cool." And I like ended up like I was there a freshman in high school, and I ended up going there all through high school. When I graduated, I became a youth group leader there. And by that time I
very
was
cool.
by that time I was really interested in other religions as well.
Yeah.
And I had a little bit more of a critical eye on the Christian church, especially just Christians in general.
Yeah.
Especially I was in Orange County. There, it's
Oh
just
yeah. I definitely.
it's
Yeah.
kind of weird. And so
That's all you
um,
have to say is Orange County, and I
yeah.
got you. Oh,
So
Mike Ness is from there, and all that, and there's a bunch of.
I
Yeah.
brought up a couple of my concerns about their teachings to my pastor, and they for to make an example of me, they strung me up as a cupid from my arms and legs, and had the church throw stuff at me to make the kids not want to have sex before marriage, like that would do anything. And I ended up getting my hands and my legs cut. I was telling them to stop, blah blah blah, and they were like, "What? How do you think Jesus would have felt?" this is just do it. And I was like, all right, I'm out of
Oh,
here. And I know that that's not the religion as a whole,
ah,
but that was the church for me. And I was out. You know, I'm still searching. I'm very open to things. I've had lots of weird experiences. I don't know if you believe in
oh,
ghosts
I
or
do.
all
No,
kinds of
I
stuff.
believe I believe that there is a spiritual realm, and it's affects people with, according to how they're raised, the
Yeah.
region, and however God wants to speak to you. I mean, He
Yeah.
speaks in many different forms. So I mean, I just, I would say keep looking. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
you got to find your internal peace. I do believe in that.
I,
Find your
I
internal
agree with that
peace.
too. I don't know if my
So.
internal peace is with any
And right now
uh
with the sparkly lights behind you, you almost look like have like a holy presence going right now.
hey, you know what?
Ooh.
I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
Take what you can get.
But yeah, no,
Oh,
I love the journey. When I left that, I got more into
exactly.
like psychedelics and kind of, you know, opened my mind more in that way, and then
Hmm.
got like really into like paganism and witchcraft, and was like a hardcore witch for like 6 years. And I was like, this is just too much. Like it's too much like
It's
stuff to remember and do. I was
yeah.
doing it with a buddy of mine. We had like our own coven. It was great, but after a while, it was like you'd see someone else that was doing it, and you'd be like, "You suck," and you're like, "Wait, I'm the same thing."
It was
And so
funny. I was
it
in the
was fun.
military and I had a couple guys that were in my band. We had a three-piece goth folk band, and they were freaking. It was Ghost and Ghost was the lead singer, and I can't remember the other. Shadow was the bassist, and I was the guitarist. And
Roosta,
they were both
Ghost,
witch
Shadow, and Rooster.
warlock type stuff and all
Uh
that. Like,
huh.
and I was the only Christian, and so
Hmm.
yeah, it felt kind of weird, but we had a good connection though. We did.
Yeah.
We played some shows that we had no drummer. It was just
Who needs
guitar,
them?
electric guitar, and feedback. Like,
Yeah.
it was awesome. And I remember we did a show in one of the barracks, and it was like a half hour, and the last song was like 10 or 15 minutes long. It was just going forever. We all
Yeah.
kind of blacked out during the song and woke up on the ground. We're like looking around, going, "What the hell happened?"
Oh, dude, the
Getting up,
spirit of the song took
yeah,
you
it was just
over.
we just lost. Yeah, it was
That's
just
cool,
people
man.
were just watching us going, they go flopping on the ground and then this and that, and they're like, okay, so
All right, dude. I'd
that's
go to that show.
yeah, they were good guys. So man, I like them. I love them too. I miss them.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Enough about me.
Ah, dude, I'm just as
So
interested to hear about you.
are you still kind of are you still involved with that,
Uh, with
the
with
paganism and
I would say it's my comfort zone as far as religion
that's
goes.
right, because you haven't found your comfort yet. You're still looking.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I feel like there's like the source. There's like an energy. There's something that we're all connected to.
Yeah,
I think it takes a lot of different forms for a lot of different people.
exactly.
And I think that maybe Taylor Void is just trying to take something that's also why it's void, because it's something that's so ethereal and like not a
Yeah,
physical thing, but it's a very physical emotions,
there you
and
go.
those things affect the real world. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
definitely believe if you're telling yourself all the time that you suck or whatever, you're gonna get sick and you're not gonna feel good. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you got to be
You
positive.
believe it, Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
if you're putting
I
out
got you.
negativity is coming to you. So I
Yeah,
think it's like I'm searching a lot. I feel like I've had a lot of really strange spiritual encounters with entities,
yeah.
good and bad. And so that makes me feel like there's something there. Some trying to talk to me in some
There
ways.
is.
But yeah, so Taylor Void is kind of like talking about that. There's some other songs I ended up not putting on the record because I thought they were too weird and would feel too exposed. But I think they're going to be on the next one for sure. I just saved them.
Or
I feel,
put them on a single for an extra bonus track.
yeah.
Something like that. So
There's a bunch
because
of stuff
people always
that's on the way.
expect those type of songs to be a little bit odd, or
Yeah,
different because those are usually the questionable songs for us as musicians. That where we
Yeah.
put them, like I don't know, I kind of
Well,
like that song, but it kind
it's
of
like
fits the album, but not really. So let's
it's
don't put it
like
on the album. Let's put it on a single.
how do I add the song about a demon pouring
Yeah.
period blood into my mouth?
Okay, wait. Say that
Yeah.
one more time.
So I had this very lucid dream. I can still remember it perfectly. It feels I'm a lucid dreamer for the most of the time.
Okay.
Um, and I feel like when I was younger, I'd have crazy stuff, but now I'm a little older, I'm a little more distracted. Maybe every 2 or 3 nights instead of every night. So it's a couple times a week. I have these really, I'm in control of everything. And sometimes I get into a place I can't control, but it seems familiar and it just gets kind of fucked up. But I had this dream that I woke up in this like big cement warehouse and it was well lit even though there's no windows, and the ceilings were like infinite, like it just went up forever, but I could tell it was enclosed. And there was this huge spiral staircase going up that was all made out of black bones that were like broken into each other,
Ooh.
and they would crank up and open and close, like so it could go flat to the wall and then go down, and they would land in these teeth that would bite them.
Yeah.
And so I was too weak to walk up these stairs in this dream. I was like crawling on the ground, and I could crawl to the middle of the spiral of the stairs. And on the top, there was like this demon woman. And I felt like she pulled me to her, and I could see her face, and I could see it so clearly. It almost looked like the Diablo 4 cover. It was
Mm-hmm.
like this dripping red woman, and she was hot, but she was scary. And then she sent me back down, and then she opened herself up over me and just flooded my whole face and mouth and body with blood. Like I could feel it filling my lungs and my stomach. And I was like
Mm.
being exploded by this woman's menstrual blood. And then I woke up and I was like, told my wife about it. And she was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with you. So
You're
like
going to see a psychiatrist. I'm paying for it. But the Rooster
no, I
show
just
is gonna help you out.
yeah, tell me out,
You
man. No, I just write weird songs about it. So that song's
that's
called
good.
Sounds Like a Period, or that song's called Smells Like a Period, and that will be out soon.
Wonderful. I can't wait. Actually, I can't wait to hear it. I'm intrigued. So, do you have any shows planned coming up?
No, I have my other project, Final Body. We're recording,
Yeah.
and there's a really cool production company up here called Yes Productions.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
so
yes.
they're kind of like when bigger bands come through, like Twin Tribes or
Yeah.
I don't know, like This Cold Night or any of those like kind of bigger, more
Love them both.
modern bands.
Yep.
They'll be like, hey, you guys want to come open for them? Because you guys are kind of like, a few people know us in the city for that project.
They should
So
have you open for you guys.
that's a thing, is I think that I'm gonna probably do that. I
At
think it's
least
getting
test the
to
ground. They don't have to do it at every show, but
yeah. And
it'd be
it
nice
would be
to give
easy.
you a couple chance.
Yeah, for sure. There's no like, it's not like I've asked to play a show and people have said no. It's like people have asked and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't know. Okay." I just get nervous, that's all.
That's all right. Yeah, you'll get past it.
I'm just an anxious boy.
We'll
I've
we'll
played
help you.
probably 50, 60 shows, more than that, but it's just every time I'm like, God damn it, why am I here? I
We'll
should
try
have
to
been a
help you get
DJ.
through that. We will. We'll try to give you a chance on this show if you want. We'll record you doing a little performance if you want.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
So
I could go to my practice
instead of
space.
recording an interview time, we'll just record, the whole thing. But I need you to record the audio on your end so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it has a nice digital sound to it, and stuff.
Yeah, I have my buddy Tyler, he plays drums with us. He also we've written a couple songs together. I'm trying to convince him to come up with a name so I can release it as a split between me and him.
Yeah.
But he's really on board for helping me like get that going. So I'll
Yeah,
let him know that.
we'll try to plan something kind of soon if you want.
Yeah, sure.
It'll just be a random thing, it'll have to be just either after a day I get off work or whatever, but we'll figure it out and
Sure.
we'll get something recorded so that we'll put get everybody looking at you,
That'd be great, man. I
seeing you in
appreciate that.
action. Yeah, no big
Thank
deal,
you.
no big deal.
Yeah, I can
Um,
goof around a little bit.
So, if there would be a band that you would really love to open up for and to go on tour with, who would it be?
Ooh, I feel like
And
there
you
would
can pick
be
three. I'll give you
three.
three
Okay,
chances.
three bands that are current.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I could be selfish and pick bands that I really want to see live or bands that I think I fit with, but I think I'll do both.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay,
That's
so I
six.
think so. Say I'm opening, right?
Yeah.
If it's a show that I want to see Lebanon Hanover.
Yep.
I'm
Of course.
they
Duh.
rarely come to the United States. I'd be silly not to want to see them. I want to see Lebanon Hanover. I want to see my Take My Remains at Broadway.
Okay.
Um, I would love to see. I mean, this is like I've never seen New Order, and I know they're still playing. I would
New
love to see
Order.
New Order.
Oh,
I've
New Order is one of my bucket
all my
list. Yeah.
all of my friends have seen
Oh
them, and
God, I
like I
love them.
literally like had
I
to
listen to
delete
them
the
today. I
photo.
love
Like
them. Every day I listen to them. Almost
it's
every day.
me and my wife did a cover of Bizarre Love Triangle on YouTube. So
Oh,
we did during the pandemic. We were doing like just
oh,
little covers together, and that was fun. Those would probably be the three. Those are totally crazy and wild. None of them would really fit together. But I would love to. I think what fits my style would be a good show. Would be This Cold Night. Um, he's an awesome guy. He's in Portland. We could probably make that
yeah.
happen.
Hey,
I
yeah.
think he's in
That's
I think he's in Vancouver now. But This
I
Cold
do
Night would
like
be.
them. I do play them on my mixes. Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah,
The way he writes
they are
songs.
good, but I would love to do an interview with them too. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great. Talk to
he's
him.
kind of hard to get a hold of sometimes. But we played a show with him not too long ago, and he was awesome. He was just like
Sweet.
he brought this whole like thing of like wires up on stage. I actually didn't play that show, and they told me about it. I was in California. But yeah, no, I would like to play with This Cold Night. I would like to play with Bring My Remains to Broadway, and I would also like to play with Second Still, because those are
Wow.
just the bands that I'm really into this month, and that's
Great.
what's on the brain.
So, who would you like to thank for your success so far as a musician? Would you like to give credit to?
Um, I would I would definitely thank my bandmates. Um, just in any project I've done or people I've recorded with, because I've never been super um, confident in what I
Yeah.
could do, and it's taken a lot of people around me being like, "Dude, you might not be this, but you are this, so do that." And so support from friends has been huge. So people reaching out and just being like, dude, this is awesome. That
Yeah.
is like I've experienced it a little bit. But experiencing it was something that was just me, that's like really personal, that like sometimes I don't really like to listen back to all the time.
Yeah.
Um, that feels really good. So anyone that has just I don't know, random people from across the world been like, hey, this song is cool. It's like,
Hmm.
whoa, dude, thank you. That's like I never thought that someone in whatever Iraq would be listening to my music on repeat. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
so random. It's like, oh, I got 6 listeners in Jamaica. Cool. All right.
What the heck?
Yeah. So it's like,
That's
it's
sweet.
really it's fun to go through that. SoundCloud has been a huge help.
Oh, I
Um,
love SoundCloud.
it's
That's
been really
that's
great.
why I
Like
put all my mixes on this
so
SoundCloud.
Spotify is the cool big bad, but it's really nerve wracking watching your numbers go up and down every month, and like getting added to playlists and getting taken off of them. And like, I don't even know if I have access to my Spotify artist account because I'm just an idiot like that. But that is, I forgot what I was talking about.
I don't know,
What was I
but
saying?
I do support people's music on Spotify though as
Oh,
well.
that's
And
yeah.
all the bands that I do promote in my mixes, I have on my punk oi mix. I have a
Mhm.
gothic mix, which plays dark wave. All the non-human, all them, everybody.
Cool.
Mary's Funeral. Have you ever heard of the Mary's Funeral? They're from
Barry.
Turkey. Mary's
No,
Funeral.
no, they probably
You
sound
should check
sick.
them out. They're a Turkish band. Two guys.
Cool.
They're really good. They're uh really I don't know, dark wave, but they're really good. I don't I
I
I became
feel like
friends with him.
when like those like Eastern, I guess is Turkey Eastern European, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like all
I
those
believe
Eastern
so.
European dudes like have that sound, like those really thin guitars.
Oh
Those
yeah,
really, it's really catchy. Everyone's kind of like they're like really bouncy with like mumble gothers.
yeah. They only
It's
have
it's
one
sick.
album, but it's really actually great. So
That's awesome.
I'll send you a link to
I would
what
love that.
some of the stuff that are really good. So
That's cool.
oh dude, I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate all the time we spent.
Dude,
And
for sure.
so where can people find all your music at?
Well, I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple. I'm on everything. I also have a YouTube channel that I'm probably gonna do more with, more just like talking about stuff or like maybe
Okay.
behind the scenes. But I have a couple like rough chopped up kind of like found footage videos that I put on there just for like visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can find my music anywhere, really.
Okay. Thank you.
And supporting on Bandcamp would be appreciated, but it's not necessary.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Got a thing there too. So all right, man. I thank you very much.
Hey,
And you
thank
take
you. It
care
was
of
great
yourself,
talking to you.
Taylor. And I will message you in just a few moments. And and if you can, I would appreciate if you have some photos and send them. I can, I need a few photos.
Oh, a photo of me for this?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
sure, sure, sure.
So
All
I can
right. I
do a
think my
collage.
my
I do a collage at the beginning of it.
okay.
So all right, you
Okay,
take care of
cool.
yourself, man, and
Hey,
bless you
appreciate
and
you, Roosta.
bless your project. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yep. Bye bye.